Hey guys, it's Vanessa Terry here with Notary to Notary, and in this video we're actually going to talk about a pretty hot topic. I'm sure that most of you guys, especially if you're already pursuing a career or a business becoming a notary, you have heard people say, how are notaries making this much money? Is it a scam? Who even calls a notary when they can go to their bank? How many times have you heard that or seen that comment on social media? This video is to respond to that. So if you are one of those people who have posted that comment or have asked that question, I am talking to you specifically, okay? So let's talk about it. Okay, but wait guys, before we get into it, I'm gonna say something really important that's gonna help you become a successful notary signing agent. Trust me, okay? The first thing you have to do is like and subscribe this video on this channel. Now, do it now or I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you. Okay, so the number one comment I see online is, why would someone call you when they can just go to their bank and get it done for free? Let's break this up. Okay, so yes, you can get documents notarized at your bank if you have an account there. So every bank is different, but most banks will have an option for you to get a document notarized if you have an account there and if their notary public is there. Not only that, some banks only do certain documents. So you may be able to get a power of attorney notarized, but they may say, oh, we're not gonna do your loan closing. So it depends on the bank and what they wanna do, okay? Not only that, when are banks open? 9 to 5, sometimes 6, okay? And if you work 9 to 5 and sometimes 6, that's not gonna work for you. You're gonna need to find a mobile notary or somewhere you can go when you get off work or before you go into work. So yes, you can go to banks and get documents notarized, but it's not as simple as that. Not only that, not everybody has a checking account. How many of you guys know someone that does not have a checking account? It's actually not that uncommon for people to not have checking accounts. So that kind of takes care of why some people do not go to their banks or cannot go to their banks. The next comment is you can go to places like funeral homes or UPS. That is true, but the same thing kind of plays along with that. They have to be open and their notary has to be there and available. Also, they have to be willing to do the document that you need notarized. And that goes back into they'll do certain forms but not other forms. And that is actually why FedEx stopped providing notary services. So as a notary, when you're notarizing documents, you are kind of like legally obligated to it in the sense that if that document is ever contested for any reason and you have to go to court, let's say you notarize a will and let's say you notarize Grandpa Jerry's will and he passes and the grandkids start fighting over it and they're like, no, I was supposed to get the house. No, I was supposed to get the car. Okay, they contest it. They all go to court. Guess who has to show up? The notary that notarized the will. And so that can be kind of annoying, especially for a company like FedEx who provides a ton of other services. They just decided, you know what, let's just scratch this one because you do have to show up at court. And so you'll have to pay your staff, your team member, to go to court. And we all know how long court can be. So there's that. But yeah, so you can go to banks, you can go to UPS, you can go to funeral homes, but you want to keep that all in mind. Depends on the times. Also depends on the document that you're doing, if they can do it. Not only that, especially when it comes to loan closing. So when you are, let's say that you're buying a house and your title company says, hey, we'll send you the loan documents, just find a notary to get them notarized. I've had calls like that from people in my community that says, hey, my title company gave me the loan docs, can you notarize them? I do them as a loan signing agent. And the reason why it's best to go to a loan signing agent is because I see these documents all the time. If you go to a simple like regular cashier at a UPS store, they may not know anything about a closing disclosure. Nothing about a note, nothing about a signature name affidavit. They don't know if you're missing signatures. They don't know what's supposed to be filled out and what's not. And so if you do that, which is not recommended, you may end up missing a lot of signatures for your loan closing and then further delaying your funding date for your loan. So that's why you typically would not want to just take it to a UPS store. Now, banks may have more experience with loan closing documents, but not like a UPS store cashier representative. I wouldn't do that. Another reason why people call mobile notaries is when they're sick. Okay, so people call mobile notaries from hospitals, nursing facilities, from their home, especially if they're bedbound and they cannot physically get up and go anywhere. They need someone to come to them. And so a lot of times, especially if you're working as a notary now, you may get a call from a nursing facility, someone who needs a last minute power of attorney or a last minute will, or someone in a hospital who had a bad accident and, they may be have to be there for a while and they need someone to take care of their affairs. Hey, I need to get a power of attorney done. I cannot physically leave this hospital. Can you come up here, fill this out so my loved one can take care of my medical bills or my, my bank accounts or whatever the case is they need taken care of. That's like a last minute rush service that is normally, it's normal for mobile notaries to get calls from hospitals and nursing homes and people who are at home. So yes, people call notaries when they're sick or when they're having medical issues they can't necessarily move about how they normally would. Side note, that's why it's super important to have all of those documents done well in advance. And this is on a personal note. You need to have a power of attorney, a will, and a medical directive completed, okay? It's a sad story when I go to hospitals and nursing homes and it's just like people, unfortunately, we just don't plan for it. And there are times when you wait till the last minute and you can't get it done. Because we can't notarize a power of attorney for someone that's unconscious or in a coma. And, unfortunately, it's a sad story. So this piece I just want to leave for you and for everybody. You need to have an executed power of attorney, will, and medical directive, and make sure your loved ones know where it is so they can find it in the event of. Cool? The next reason why people call mobile notaries, and you might think that it's kind of like, really? But for convenience. And so the best analogy I can make to this is when you order pizza. Okay, how many of you guys have ordered pizza from Papa John's and it's like 8 o'clock at night and you put your order in and you're like, okay, let me get a pepperoni pizza, breadsticks, drink, ooh, throw a cookie in there, yes, right? You get to the end and it's like pick up or delivery. You got a whole car, pick up or delivery. You could deliver it to me because I don't feel like going. Convenience. Same thing with notaries. People know they can get up and go to their bank or go to UPS but some people, one, don't feel like it. This is the name of the game. Some people call me and they're like, oh, I need to get a document notarized. And I always say, okay, do you want to come to me? Do you want me to come to you? Or do you want to do it as an e-notary? And people say, wait, you come to me? And I'm like, yeah, if you want me to. And they're like, oh yeah, I gotta leave my house. Come on then. Okay, people love convenience. And so that's one thing, especially I get a lot of calls from like business executives and they're working and they're in the mix and they're in their office and they don't have time to get in the car and drive to a bank. So they're like, okay, call a mobile notary, tell them to come up here and do these docs for me. Okay, convenience. People use mobile notaries simply because it's convenient, just like you pick delivery on your Papa John's order instead of pickup because it's convenient. Okay, so the next big reason why, and it's the most lucrative portion of being a mobile notary, the number one reason people call notaries is because we can conduct loan closings. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard this term thrown all around social media, especially on YouTube, but loan closings are simply put where a notary will conduct notarizations on real estate documents. And so the reason why someone would call a notary to do that is because typically the notary would have undergone some kind of training, whether it was like a YouTube training or an online course, like my course at Notary to Notary, or a course from the NNA. They have some kind of training that teaches them about loan closings. So loan closings are usually like refinances, reverse mortgages, home equity lines of credit, purchases, seller sides, loan modifications, things like that. And so you want to be able to communicate verbiage properly with that signer. And if you just take a random notary who has no idea about a closing disclosure or a deed of trust or anything like that, it's just like, what am I doing? Right? Much less like how to collect funds, what to do with collecting the ID, how to scan back, how to, ship it back, all these things that need to happen, how they should sign their name, things like that. And that's what mobile notaries who also have loan closing experience or loan closing training, they bring more experience to the table. And most title companies, loan officers, mortgage industry leaders, they're looking for that trained notary. The number one reason is because can they go find a random notary with no training who has no idea what they're doing? Of course, but it's going to cost them money. Why? If I just take a loan package to any notary who has no idea what they're doing, more than likely they're going to miss signatures. And if that notary ships back that package to that lender, one, they're paying that FedEx or UPS shipping again because they have to get done again. And then it's delaying funding. And when loans are delayed, it's not good for anybody. And so title companies, loan officers, all that good stuff, they are willing to find and invest and pay top dollar for a trained notary signing agent who is basically, a notary signing agent is basically just a notary who knows how to complete loan closings, okay? And so they will pay for a mobile notary who knows how to complete loan closings before they just say, okay, you're gonna close on your loan, take it to UPS, because they wanna make sure it's done the right way. Everything that's free or everything that's cheap is not always the best. You get what you pay for. Okay, so now you guys always ask too, how is it that a simple mobile notary makes so much money? When I say you can make six figures, what's the first thing you think? She's lying. It's a scam. There's no way. But you have to think about it. You have to retrain your brain. Most people think of notaries as, someone that works at the bank or, they have no idea of the complete facets of the notary industry. And so since you don't know, when you hear me say you can make six figures doing something, initially these walls go up. Also because most people in America, in the United States, don't make six figures. And so for me to come tell you something as simple as a notary can make six figures, it just doesn't make sense to you. And so when it doesn't make sense, sometimes we don't ask questions. We just say, "Oop, she must be lying because I know everything." Okay, anyway, yes, so mobile notaries make a lot of money. One, because they can do general notary work, loan closings, and RON. Not to mention non-notary work, which I'm not going to discuss in this video, but there is non-notary work. Now, general notary work is when people call you from your local community. So they found you online, or they met you at a networking event, or they found your Google business page, and they call you and say, hey, I need to get an affidavit notarized, or can you do a divorce for me, or can you notarize a power of attorney for me? And you guys meet up and you notarize those documents. Simple. Loan closings, which we just talked about, is when a title company or a signing service or an attorney will call you and say, can you conduct a loan closing for this real estate transaction, okay? And then RON, e-notary, that whole section is where you're notarizing electronically on your computer from home or wherever you want to be, as long as you're in your commissioned state, those same documents. Those same general notary documents and those same loan closing documents. So you have three ways, not to mention non-notary work, that you're able to monetize this industry. And so it's not hard to do. It's actually fairly simple. It's just something that you have to learn. And some of us, we close the walls down from learning because we think we know everything. So I ask you to take the walls off, be open to learning. And it's not a new thing. It's not like notary signing agents just dropped out of the sky yesterday. They've been around for quite some time. And if you take some time and do your research, you'll see, oh, this is a whole industry. There's even a nonprofit organization called the National Notary Association that's been around for years and provides tools and training and resources for notaries across the country. And so it's not some fly-by-night industry that just so happened to pop up. It's legit and it's been around for a while. And if you're watching this video, it means that you're interested in it. So the first thing and the only thing that you need to do is go get your notary commission and get some training. I have training online at notarytonotary.com. I highly recommend our all-inclusive training because it's going to give you everything you need to know to build your notary business. I'm not just going to teach you how to stamp some papers, because it's not, you're learning a skill, right? Stamping papers is a skill. I want to teach you how to grow a business, okay? So we're going to talk about everything from marketing to taxes to how to get clients to how to keep clients. Like, there's a whole lot that goes into growing a business, but it's so lucrative and it can provide you time and financial freedom, okay? Are you ready? Head on over to notarytonotary.com and get signed up today. I look forward to helping you. Until next time, happy signing.